Yeah, and I think this is a clever draft by Vici Gaming. The fact that they pick up the Tiny rather than go for the Slaughter pick, because it might go through, first of all, and secondly, Ice has a very deep hero pool on the off lane. He doesn't need that Slaughter.
I was wondering, we were talking about this earlier, about the Tiny without the IO, and it was just barely over 50% going into this tournament. It's been much, much better here at Frankfurt, but this is only the third time that Vici Gaming have picked the Tiny in this patch. Super is 2-0 with it, but this is not a hero that they've run a lot.
5 seconds remaining.
Another hero that's been very popular throughout the tournament is the Undying. We've only seen EHOME play it once, whereas Vici Gaming plays it a decent amount. I think we've seen it 3 or 4 times throughout the tournament.
I think Spirit Breaker, you could go here. I think you could go AA. It's hard against EHOME. They have such a diverse hero pool.
Actually, I think this is a really difficult pick.
I agree.
They could potentially go for the Bounty Hunter.
It's very early.
Yeah, I don't think you need to do that first phase. I guess don't you have to think about the Shadow Fiend here? I mean, he seems like the Shadow Fiend and the Slardar seem to me to be the other sort of top tier heroes still in the pool, and I don't know that I want to pick the Slardar with the Tusk already on board. So I think the SF is my pick here.
What's really smart about the opening from Vici Gaming is that they get two heroes that are really strong, but at the same time they deny them from EHOME. Tiny and Bane being 2 of the most played heroes from EHOME. It's a very smart draft so far.
Yeah, this is only the 6th Witch Doctor pick of the entire tournament. He's 3-2.
5 seconds remaining.
And this is only only the second time that EHOME have run Witch Doctor in this version. Kaka's 1-0 with him.
Did I just hear a Rubik ban? I think I did.
Oh, I think you have to. That's a Rubik ban by EHOME. That's not a surprise.
It was a Brood.
Yep, Brood ban. Okay.
Yeah, they sound pretty similar when they get banned.
Which sounds pretty odd to me. No arachnophobia today, though, Paul. No worries.
No. There was a couple of moments yesterday where it got a bit frightful. The Viper ban.
So the teams widely regard Viper as a counter to the Tiny.
Well, and it's also with Vici, you're pretty sure that it's going to be super on Tiny. So you really do want to think about banning out the mid heroes maybe more than any other team. I think you're right, but at the same time, I think for Vici it's more important because of the lane matchup.
Reserve time.
Another hero that's still in the pool is Darkseer. Actually, did you mention that?
No.
Nice. Because yesterday I apparently repeated you all the time without even noticing. But Darkseer, I think, actually has pretty good synergy with Tiny. There are 2 obvious combinations. You can vacuum into Avalanche Toss, and just when you have the Aghanim Scepter, even any sort of decent vacuum, while the heroes start spreading out afterwards, you get a couple of cleave hits in, it increases the damage by quite a bit. It's a great hero for Ice.
I'm a little bit puzzled also that EHOME don't bother taking out the IO.
Yeah, the IO is one thing. The other is the Queen of Pain. I think the Ember Spirit ban is a bit preemptive, knowing that they've already picked the Tiny. There's also still the Slaughter in the pool that I really think they should have given more credit.
Yeah.
That's why they banned the Abaddon here.
Now, Vici just not a team that runs the IO, I guess, so that's probably just on their scouting report. But yeah, it seems really odd to me that both the Slaughter and the Spirit Breaker were left in the pool. The Dragon Knight.
Might be a semi-push strat coming out from EHOME with Witch Doctor, Dragon Knight, and then maybe with a follow-up Shadow Shaman pick.
Shadow Shaman.
Could be a Moon Rider, the Luna.
This is a hard Luna game, though.
Really is.
It is, but when you band up and go for objectives, things get a lot easier. Especially when you have 2 good frontliners in Dragon Knight and Tusk, and then the Witch Doctor to help you on the backline.
So Dragon Knight almost certainly going to be an old chicken hero. They've run it the 4 times they've run it this patch. all him. So we got to talk about the CTY hero, and the push strat to me suggests possibly a CTY juggernaut.
Yeah.
Has played it once so far in Frankfurt and lost with it.
Do you think it's possible that Vici Gaming sense a push strat and just pick AA now, just in case? And then if it's not a pushing strat, then they still have obviously great stun setups for the Ice Blast to connect, and it's very strong laning support duo with Bane AA.
I've been
think
thinking
it's a
AA
great
this whole
pickup.
time. Yeah, sorry, buddy. Go ahead.
No, just like you said, I think it's a great pickup with the AA. I'm still a bit torn on the Ember Spirit ban from EHOME.
EHOME's
Wow.
turn to pick.
All right. Well, one team has late game. That's for sure.
There's the jug.
Oh,
Good shout that
and
has.
they get to get the AA ban, so that's almost 100% definite that EHOME is going to commit the last ban to the AA.
Yeah, I think this is almost a mistake by Vici Gaming here. I really think you needed a tool to deal with the mid game push. Again, we've talked about this. Vici wants to take it late, and you have to have control of tempo in order to do that. I don't know that they, other than the Bane's strong laning presence, I don't know that they have the great tempo controlling tools here. Man.
Gyro is good at holding high ground, though. Call down and flat cannon is kind of difficult to push into, but his innate weakness is he's not good against a single target. And when EHOME look to push a high ground, they're probably just sending in the Dragon Knight with maybe an Aegis and go commit him to hitting the tower with the Juggernaut healing ward, of course.
So do you think they go for a Shadow Priest, the Shadow Shaman, or the Undying?
I think Shadow Shaman is EHOME's most obvious pick now, based on what they played against Vega Squadron.
Yeah.
Yikes. All right, so Vici have really gone, their solution to tempo control is almost exclusively picking the supports that have the really strong laning presence. And the Treant for EHOME.
Wow.
Oh man, mega push strat. I really like EHOME's chances, guys.
Okay. Treant locked and loaded, and Vici and EHOME are ready. Time to go over to our commentators for game one.
Thank you, Paul. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are one day off of the grand finals, and before we get there, old teammates will clash here as we see Vici Gaming take on EHOME. Ben, it might be Vici and EHOME playing, but it really feels to me like the specter of the old DK looms over this match. You've got old teammates, super burning, reunited together again, Ice, of course, and then Lanham facing them off with a young crew with him looking to dethrone his old friends.
Well, they're going to have to ditch that sense of old camaraderie and fight to the death. Treant Protector, Lanham's resurrecting some old supports, man.
Yeah, he brought back the Abaddon, now the tree. I mean, if I didn't know better, I would have thought that PPD maybe snuck into the booth, but Lanham definitely not afraid to experiment here. So with that, guys, we are going to get underway in just a moment. Game one about to begin. Vici Gaming taking on EHOME. Winner of this match will have the honor of facing a seemingly unstoppable OG at the end of the day. So the players have selected their heroes. They enter the map now, and we see a very common rotation. The TP on mid, and then the ward drop. But this has been almost instantly pinged out. And at least EHOME suspecting there might have been something going on there, though not seeing any sentries in the neighborhood just yet. But I'm starting to wonder when our team's going to look to actually just blindly anticipate that ward play. Because I feel like I've seen it 3 or 4 games in a row now, Ben.
I mean, it's a guessing game at the start, right? You have to wonder where they're going to TP. Sometimes they're going to try and control the opponent's pool. So, you know, you all just have to guess sometimes at the replays. And you don't have the luxury of having like 4 sentry wards at the start. So sometimes you just have to play with the best feel and see how they move around the map. I wonder if they expected an Abaddon ban and went with the Treant Protector. It seems like it is pretty darn good versus the Slardar, but the Gyrocopter pick kind of destroys the living armor as well.
Also later on in the game, Overgrowth can be quite annoying for the Tiny, forcing him to go into that Manta where he might not want to, or even a BKB, but Bottom Rune could have an early clash here. Old 11 back on his signature toss, out goes the Rocket Barrage, but Lanham able to tank this up. 3 beefy bruisers for EHOME down in the river. They now get off the lead seat. Old Chicken is surrounded. 4 heroes arrive, and Vici Gaming will get on the board first. It was only a single bounty rune EHOME grabbed there as well. Not really what they were looking for to start this game off.
Oh, you definitely don't expect the Gyrocopter to be there, though. He's gonna be late to his lane up top, but definitely worth it for that first blood. And And Vici have pretty greedy lanes, I would say. I guess they have the lit to kind of counteract for that, but Tiny, not the strongest. Slardar, maybe a little bit difficult to get his farm on. But Gyrocopter is the one that's going to do a lot of the early game work.
Yeah, this mid lane, Dragon Knight versus a Tiny. For now, it does seem like the Bane will head top. And so to match up against the Bane, EHOME do something a little bit different. They're going to run the Juggernaut in the off lane. Kaka will be supporting him here on the Witch Doctor as he goes for the side pull. One of the benefits of this Radiant off lane, and he gets the full one. Let's see if Vici want to contest that. So both teams really trying to maximize their lanes, not looking to give anything up early as the cask will bounce. They get off the Blade Fury and Bernie. Is it enough for a kill here? It just might be. CTY's diving for it. He's committing and just barely gets with that last auto attack. So EHOME quick to strike back as FY moves in, maybe thinking about a go here on CTY, but with the harassment of Kaka, that is not going to happen.
This is something that's actually very unexpected coming out from EHOME. They almost always sack 11 in the off lane, and maybe anticipating that the Lich is going to be in the bottom lane, they want to buff up CTY as much as possible, and realizing that this lane is actually the best lane for him to potentially get a lot of farm and, of course, kills and shut down Burning on the Gyrocopter.
They really don't have anything on the Blade Fury aside from just trying not to get next to him.
I mean, later on, they can toss him away, they can amp
right.
focus him down and maybe grip, but yeah, early game, nothing.
And FY also trying to get the side pull going here, but EHOME dragging that wave back a bit as they will hit level 2 now on the Juggernaut. So in the mid lane, just a farm trade early on here. Super playing the Tiny. Struggling a bit though. 4-2 up against the 8-2 of Old Chicken.
I think Burning actually didn't get the boots super early too. Looks like they're making a go on Burning again.
It's going to connect. They get off the Maledict. They're really going for this one. And Burning not quite able to get out of range of the Blade Fury. Both heroes having the boots. One more auto attack. Is the Maledict going to be enough? It's got one more to go. The Tango healing to back up. Close and barely able to live through it. Still though, Burning not farming, under pressure, and is going to be backing off now as he sits only 4-1, 2.5 minutes in.
Here's where you might prefer Sylar's build of going the boots with the Tangos with no mangoes. Yes, LDS said no mangoes. But this way,
get the hell off this cast.
This way you're always like one item ahead of the Jug. By the time he gets brown boots, you have phase boots, and you should have brown boots for the majority of the time while he's bootless. But not anticipating that lane. I like EHOME's flexibility.
Talk to me about the tree a little more. You mentioned he's kind of maybe a substitute for the Abaddon. How do you see him fitting in? Is this going to just fuel a push? Is this more to defend against Vici Gaming split push? What's the
I think like
reasoning
that
for
combined with the Healing Ward is just going to be incredible amounts of heal. They banned out the Ancient Apparition last, and I mean Vici are going to have a hard time dealing with the amount of sustain. Kaka actually in a lot of trouble on top lane too.
He is able to back out. The Living Armor coming into play here. CTY swings around the trees. Does have the level 2 Blade Fury now. Burning with the TP back in the base.
But EHOME actually have these more unusual sustain strats. For example, like the Wisp last pick sometimes. Vici actually banned out the Chen, so they do like the really prolonged 5-on-5 engagements. So I think Tree's actually really good for that sort of scenario. Although Living Armor might not be useful versus the Rocket Barrage, it's still very useful versus Slardar Jump.
They are going to swing around here. Cass. Oh, that's a regen rune. Super really wants it, but he's going to get stunned, and the Cass comes through. It's sniped by Old Chicken. And the sleep on the CTY, and they're going to force the Bane back, but the Chicken looks to chase in. A couple more auto attacks. No, just the one. Not quite enough for the kill. As a 4-minute walking courier will trot back near Kaka towards the well.
And they're able to utilize the pull a lot better on Vici. And the Tusk isn't getting too much out of the bottom lane. Slaughter kind of left to free farm. He is the #1 CS at this point in the game.
Yeah, in the off lane. We've seen this from Moon a few times, and it usually ends very poorly for the enemy team. Let's see if it punishes EHOME here. At the same time, though, looking at the experience, they're also falling behind there. Now down 1,000, but that is due to the Lich. So I feel like if you take out the Lich from the equation, it's kind of inevitable he'll get ahead. That it's actually fairly even in the experience department.
I'm a little worried about EHOME's damage output, though. Tree doesn't really provide that much. Dragon Knight and Juggernaut going to have a hard time doing damage versus the Frost Armor, and potentially like later Craggy coming out from the Tiny. So maybe trying to max out Maledict on Kaka might be the best solution for that.
Yeah, you can get that 1 point in heal, which is still pretty valuable.
FY getting jumped on.
Even the neutral's going after him, but FY will just float away. So Lanham does wrap around towards the bottom side of the map. He's got a ward being delivered. It looks like he wants to get something up behind this tower, maybe to set up a potential dive. That could be an opportunity for the Tusk of Old 11. But for right now, the wave not really pushing, and while that's going on, Fenrir has made his rotation on mid. He's going to throw out some Frost Armor on Super. The one guy that is struggling quite a bit here early on is the cask will bounce, but only once onto Burning. He's able to walk away.
And CTY is also going for a different build. He has +5 to all stats, so that combined with Living Armor is going to actually make him really, really tanky. No value point in the Healing Ward or Blade Dance.
He definitely wants to just focus on this laning aggression here.
Yeah, he's going to need to pick up a Healing Ward later. Generally, you want to like max it by the time you start pushing, which actually happens earlier than like your level 12. So sometimes you pick it up early, even though you might not use it that much in the lane.
This could be trouble for FY. That's a long-range stun from Old Chicken, and CTY is quick on the chase, gets the Blade Fury off, the call down slow. Oh, he just barely gets out of range. That move speed on the Bane. It's enough. What a hero.
Yeah, Juggernaut actually had enough money for phase boost, but didn't have the chance to sneak by in the side shop. I wonder if he's going to get treads and continue with the stat progression or go for phase, because he's had some trouble chasing down heroes.
That is really big for Vici, though. If they get that kill there, then this tower push is so much easier, but instead I guess they do bait out the cooldown. It's going to cool down here before the tower falls, most likely. We'll see if they want to hold it. Sentry getting dropped. Vici trying to make sure they don't get ambushed behind the tower. But there is no ward here in the end, so EHOME will slowly press up. No Chain Frost yet. It's been a bit of a roam for the Lich, so somewhat underleveled compared to what you will see occasionally.
It's difficult to make this push because CTY is not level 6 yet. If they had connected on that last kill, he'd be maybe like 100, 200 experience away, but not really able to make this tower push quite. They have like the tools to jump though. They have a really strong front line with the Magic Immune Juggernaut and the high armor Dragon Knight.
Not to mention they have the Living Armor that they can bring to bear in these engagements. But while that was happening, your tiny mid for Super was catching up a bit in farm. Now 30 CS, only 10 down on the Dragon Knight, and at the same time, very fast Blink Dagger. This could be trouble.
Yeah, it looks like they actually might be expecting it coming out soon. I think if he's farming well, you expect it at 9. 8 is actually impressively fast.
Yeah, a lot of Slaughters also opt to get those stats items first, but maybe the treads. But with the kind of beginning he's had, why not just rush it?
He knows that Burning's struggling a little bit, and he might look to TP top and counter against CTY because they know CTY is going to make a move once his Omni Slash is level 6.
Good news for EHOME, although Old 11 hasn't really been activated yet. He got a lot of early levels. He's 7. The last time this happened yesterday, it was huge news for EHOME. Super will try for the chuck here on the creeps mid. Looks like Old 11 may look for the roll in. He swings around a bit farther back. No, he wants to head towards top. As the Bane will set up with a sleep, and that's going to lead into the crush. The blink now revealed, and Lanham gets dealt with by his old teammate. Ice picking that one up. Burning also deploying the call down to farm some neutrals while that's going on. So Vici Gaming using some big spells and abilities here, and not being punished yet. But Old 11, he's going to be the X Factor. He does head top and looks to change it. No smoke right now, though.
Vici did a smart move and switched up their supports. Bane on the bottom lane and Lich on the top. If they keep pulling the creep wave back to their tower, they're less vulnerable to Juggernaut's movements, because that's constantly where they want to pressure, and CTY is playing the most forward of any hero on EHOME's side.
Yeah, in the case of Vici, they saw this Tusk move in, so they pretty much know what's going on at this point. They actually rotate the Slaughter onto mid. Lanham, only level 3, not really able to offer too much, aside from a little regen on the towers. We talked about it. EHOME do like to group early. They are a very tempo-based team. They're going to smoke now. Their hero's not exactly scouted, but Vici know they were up towards that northern side of the map. Let's see if they get caught out. They wrap down towards the bottom lane.
Well, they saw Slardar pass through that observer ward, so they know he's hanging around in the area, but with the position that he's in, he can just scout him out, maybe even throw out an amp and then blink out.
Oh, almost broke the smoke. Just inches away from doing it. They are not bringing CTY to this fight, though. There's a dragon form ready. Let's see, EHOME. Oh, they're gonna smoke gank the tower instead. Ah, we found you, buddy. They'll move in.
Vici's actually not that far ahead in terms of gold. You want him to be a little bit further ahead because you have the Lich.
Blink crush to start, then the creep gets lobbed in. Not much of a follow-up. And that'll be it. So they keep on pushing with CTY on the top lane. They keep on pressuring mid with Old Chicken. And even with that amp damage, he's still fairly durable here.
They want to catch Vici though without creeps. Creeps are actually really problematic for EHOME's jump. The cast might bounce the creeps, and the Juggernaut Omni Slash will
Bottom
also bounce
lane,
creeps.
Burning, takes the Warriors punch, the shards are perfect, the cooldown's gonna come through, but Snowball sucks them both in, and Burning explodes in ice and fire. EHOME, nice rotation there, old 11. Always the playmaker for this team when they're doing well. And
Can't disrespect the Tusk, man.
that was a bit unfortunate with the Invis Rune. What can you do? They don't actually have any Rune Vision right now.
So there's a big old stack coming out. Looks like Super wanting to take that maybe. He actually is not going to be that quick on his Blink Dagger, going for the early treads first.
CTY, he got amped up, but this Blade Fury spins his way back to safety. And while that's happening, you see old 11 rolling in deep on the bottom lane. He looks to go on Fenrir, gets off the Walrus Punch, looking for the solo kill, and he's got it! The Lich down again! 11! Oh, can they punish this Avatos? It's enough. So Super gets one back. It's a core for support. Vici Gaming did have to TP 2 down bottom for that, though. And this is going to prep for the push mid. Dragon form cooling down. But they're just going to go for the good old-fashioned way.
There's a lot of structure damage coming out though before Tiny gets his Blink Dagger, so this is looking not to be so bad for EHOME. They might even be able to scout out that stack if they get this tower.
Could be big. Dragon form, a few seconds off. And this is where, I mean, you'd love to see the Healing Ward come into play around this time when they look to 5-man. But they're not actually committing for it.
Yeah, CTY actually plays his Juggernaut fairly farmy from what I saw in the group stage.
That's what we saw from Burning as well when he played the Jug.
But you can tell that they want to be able to push down some more towers and haven't really been able to utilize CTY's Omni Slash yet.
Top lane, Blink Crush onto CTY. The Amp's there, they get up the grip. No Blade Fury for him. No bashes yet, but they're going to have another Crush available pretty soon. He spins, he looks to run. Can they do it with auto text? No, the phase boots. He's fast, he's got the heal now from the tree, and they can't bring him down. TP actually getting canceled.
Those stats, those early points of stacks actually paid off for CTY. He gets like, you know, almost an extra point in armor, and he's surprisingly tanking it. Like, why can't we kill this guy?
That's because he's the Juggernaut, Ben. That's why.
So I don't think Ben was the right word there.
Gotta keep
when do they take
friendly.
the T1? When CTY wants to fight. So it looks like he wants to commit to an early battle fury. And I mean, their late game is not that good compared to Vici. So you have a Slardar with the amp, you have a Tiny who's relatively farmed.
I feel like they have really good control though. Oh, Super is coming in. As the DD room, we're gonna have a big fight now. Bringing out there's the Blink Crush, but he does get up the Blade Fury and CTY. Now the Death Horde going strong onto Super, completely lays him out. Kaka turning this fight, and now onto FI. They're looking for the third kill. They might get him. Sleep trying to deny himself. Not likely to happen. The Witch Doctor, one more. Look at it go indeed. 4 down. EHOME flex, and Vici crumble.
Again, the snowball coming out from 11. He just like 3 of the heroes that they want to focus are just inside the snowball while the Death Ward rains down on them. The call down isn't able to connect on anyone, and they actually really wanted to kill the Treant Protector. That was a nice flank attempt by Tiny from the left side, but their ball is just too strong.
We might see some monitors break if EHOME keep this one up. Hope they've got replacements here at the major. Lanham will use this opportunity, gets down the deep ward in the bottom lane, and has crucially hit level 6. So he's not got the overgrowth to work with. Great for controlling the Slardar, the Tiny, and the Gyro, at least through the early to mid game. And let's see. Doesn't look like there's going to be any BKB rush. Burning is building up a Sange. We see the Slardar, no real item progression since the Blink, which is generally what you expect in Super. Maybe the drums coming soon, but they're a long way off from having solutions for that overgrowth.
Yeah, and Vici didn't really win the early game farm because their lineup is so greedy that the Lich wasn't even able to really counteract that. And also Tiny not going for an early blink, instead opting for the treads, kind of hurt their initiation last fight, so they're probably looking to get that before.
Shards fishing, old 11. Is he going to jump in here on Ice Ice Ice? No.
It's a little deep. They have a Reservoir Ward placed behind, so they actually know how many heroes are sitting behind them. They might actually make this jump because they see Burning in the mid and Super on the top.
They don't have the Omni Slash right now. Blink Crush, only hitting on Old Chicken. He's holding the Dragon form. Looks like they're going to use this to go for a tier 2. As Lanham sticks around with the rest of the team, out comes the completed Perseverance now, so Battle Fury is indeed likely well under construction, but they are lacking their mech. That's gone towards the top lane, so without old 11 there, they don't really want to risk it.
Yeah, Vici also don't want to risk it. They don't want to take a fight. They saw what happened last time, and if they lose that fight, that's 2 towers and potentially Roche. So they're very hesitant to go, I think, before Super gets his item. And they actually already have a mech up on Tusk. 1,000 gold on top of that.
Yeah, he's pinning out right now. He's going to get slept up. Can he get off anything? He's pretty tanky here, 1100 HP. Not sure they can combo him. They need the grip as well. They will commit it for the kill. So nice grab there for Vici Gaming, slowing down the momentum of EHOME, buying some time to farm here, and with that, Super will opt to complete that blink in the end.
Yeah, they need to kind of just
skipping the drums.
They need to pick off like 1 or 2 heroes so that EHOME can't push. Vici can definitely beat them on a 5-on-4, but 5-on-5 is where they really just want to outfarm them. So with the blink on the Slaughter and the blink on the Tiny, they can actually get a lot more kills. But Slaughter was number 1 in terms of farm and CS, and he's actually fallen to number 6. Maybe like it was that gank top that really failed for them, and after that they weren't able to continue with the early blink pressure coming out from Ice.
Yeah, no, it's not like the OG games that we saw yesterday, where the Slardar just got got involved in so many kills for Moon that he was even able to put together a Midas and remain the 2nd most farmed hero in the game 20-30 minutes in.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you're playing versus a Train Protector. They expect to be able to get these kills and have their roams end up in 1 or 2 kills, but with the Train Protector, he's like, oh, living armor, you're good.
They have scouted the fish. Nice Ice moving down pretty boldly. If he comes into the river here, this could be a pick.
They don't have any instant jump for him though. They have to dragon form and stun, and even then he has to be close enough.
Oh, they have a haste though on Old Chicken. That might be enough to catch him out. Snowball rolling in. This is a pretty long way to go. Oh no, doesn't end up getting off the walrus. Oh, actually does, but now the follow-up. They will kill off the Slaughter. Looks like he had used it a bit earlier. So a nice grab there from EHOME. Let's see. So they push more off of this. Tier 2 still up top, Tier 2 bottom as well.
Grip is up again.
And nobody really in range to combo with it. Burning not going to be the hero that can take down a Juggernaut.
There's multiple heroes TP on bottom. I think this Observer Ward actually scouts it out though, and it might even give signs of that smoke that was just popped.
Yeah, it looks like Vici wants to dodge the engagements here with EHOME.
Well, EHOME are certainly not going to go down on bottom. They know that's just a death trap. But Ice's play right there. It looked like he just kind of died for no good reason, but the Dragon Knight with the haste was an unexpected variable that he didn't account for. He wanted to like pop the smoke, waste their time without the instant jump, without a blink on the Dragon Knight.
Grip. But the snowball can turn this one, and they're going to roll in, but it's into a cooldown. It's a trap. There's the Overgrowth to look to turn this one around as Kaka has the cask available. He's going to let it fly, but the Chain Frost is immaculate from Fenrir. Catches out the entire squad. Still, they've used almost all their spells. Now the Slaughter blinking in. It's a missed stun. They don't have the Juggernaut here. He's very late to the fight as Kaka gets run down. Old Chicken's herded back towards the coop. And CTY,
man, what a sick
too
toss.
late.
That toss allowed the Chain Frost to keep on bouncing when originally he was isolated. But again, CTY is a little bit late to the fights, and they had a great counter initiation. Maybe like they could have waited a little bit longer on the snowball to wait for some more teammates to file in, but still Tusk at the right place at the right time. I thought they'd be better prepared for that smoke maneuver from Vici, considering they saw 2 TPs hit a T2.
Well, there's been a few engagements now where it's kind of natural to ask, where's CTY? But the answer is farming his Battle Fury. He has it now, is the leader in net worth, already level 11, so he's going to be able to not only get the farm bend, but also get those levels in Helium Ward and Blade Dance that they will need to sustain their upcoming pushes.
I mean, they really want the Omni Slash though in fights. He hasn't been able to use it as often as they'd like.
Hardly at all, in fact, this game. Definitely not every cooldown on cooldown as you often see out of Juggernauts. Still, for EHOME, they hold all their towers. So the good news is they've got a lot of map control here. The deep wards planted earlier, giving them nice vision over Vici as the shards will fly out on the top lane. And Vici are lacking smokes for the moment.
What's Super gonna go for now? He has 2,000 gold. I'm not sure if he wants like an AC or a Ags. Their late game's already better, I'd say, with the Gyrocopter, and I think they're worried about EHOME's like 5-on-5, which Ags is not necessarily that much better for. I would say AC is better for the 5-on-5. So I wanna see what he gets next.
Yeah, not farming that well, to be honest, as We do see just continuously Old 11 holding this top lane, spending a lot of time farming there in the Tusk.
He actually went back for the drums after the blink.
Yeah,
So-
he already had the bracer picked up.
Yeah, more fight. I mean, he could also go a Shadow Blade, which is what we saw Old Chicken go for yesterday, if they want to go for more picks, but it looks like EHOME's not really about that split push life anymore.
Yeah, they want to force a rumble here in the pit. Let's see if Vici Gaming can contest. They have the Chain Frost back online. It was huge last time around. There's also a double damage turn up onto Super, but you walk into this pit, you are walking into
Yeah, the
potential
healing
pain.
ward scouted out, though, actually confirms that they are doing Roche without Vici having to go in there.
Are they going to get there in time, though? Crushing an illusion of the Witch Doctor, and it might be too late. The Roche very low, does fall the way of CTY. An immediate smoke as EHOME are going to zero in on this bottom lane, where FY's trying to TP out and glimmers and successfully retreats. Dodging a bullet there, but still EHOME, the real victors, as they get the Roche. They deny Vici Gaming their own Aegis, something they'd love to have with a Slardar. So easy to take it. Let's see if Vici can dodge the fights.
Great illusion usage by Kaka there to kind of fend Vici off. It was in like a pretty good position too. Like if they go down the hill next to the secret shop with a smoke, it'll pop around the same time that they see the illusion, and they might actually still jump the illusion. So it kind of covers EHOME's bases. If they wrap around from behind, it's a different story.
And you did mention earlier this game that EHOME were lacking that instant initiation, but they have it now. Old Chicken's got the blink up on the DK, so he can quickly jump in and look to start these fights as he will now turn probably towards the BKB on the Dragon Knight. Everything gearing up aside from the Battle Fury, very much for early to mid-game pressure here. EHOME definitely want to stay in the driver's seat.
Yeah, if they didn't have the Battle Fury, though, Vici would be like very comfortable in their late game. But now that they see the Battle Fury on Jug, they may be worried about getting outscaled by Jug, especially without any farming items yet on Tiny. He went 2x fighting.
Yeah, and as for burning, it's a pretty typical build, the Sanjin Yasha, but not the maximum farm build like, say, a Dominator. There's an Invis up here. Slardar slithering about in the river. There's no gem yet for EHOME, something they may consider soon. But another big item is about to come out, I think, for Old 11 here. Up to 2,200 gold. Could be that Blink Dagger any moment.
And I remember one of the series that Ice was playing the Slardar, and they mentioned that he wasn't able to, one of the analysts talked about how he wasn't able to get that much farm as opposed to his Tidehunter versus Secret, where he was able to farm out Refresher, Shivas, and then some. And he's actually fallen way behind in terms of farm. And
well, he's 1-2-1. They just haven't been getting kills.
I mean, he had a Blink Dagger at 8, and then now all he has, he had Brown Boots at the time too, and he's only been able to pick up a Treads and a Ring. So you're talking about like 1,300 gold.
And this is the beauty of the EHOME draft.
15 minutes.
They're just so tanky. They've got the max living armor, the Dragon Knight with max Dragon Foot, the Heal Ward, and the Blade Fury. The Witch Doctor, a bit difficult to jump on, and then the Snowball saves and the mech, which have been huge. So there's just no low-hanging fruit and easy kills for him after that Blink Dagger.
Yeah, he's
reveal.
been searching a lot for kills, and EHOME's not allowing Vici to play the way that they want to.
They are thinking about the high ground breach. The last outer tower falls, and this is EHOME's time. They're in their prime. They blink in onto Super. They get off the Dragon Stun, and then the follow-up comes through. Glimmer Cape, though, trying to retreat Super away, and it looks like he will manage this game. So the Omni Slash has been committed, and now they need to back the hell out. Reset a little bit. Old 11 up in front, being gripped for now, but still barely tanky. FY, can he bring him down? There's the cooldown. The Overgrowth coming out to try and counter out the initiation of Ice, but the cooldown does a lot of work. CTY starts to drop low, has the stick charges, not going to get them off. Quickly, the EHOME heroes crumble. Now they've got to run, but they can't escape easily. The Tiny charging forward, another Blade Crush onto Old Chicken. Vici holding it now, looking for additional kills. There's the Old Chicken stun. The blink out, the toss. He doesn't get Old Chicken. He doesn't need it. Still dunks him in, and CTY also scrambles an urn and a brain sap. 4 have fallen. A complete hold by Vici, even the tower. Very healthy.
No, yeah, Glimmer Cape saves the day for FY. I mean, it might not even have mattered because Super still had buyback, and they're fighting right under the T3, so you could just buy back and kind of Avatos them from behind. But still, that's a devastating blow to EHOME's momentum. And now I think they actually have to commit more to farming on the Juggernaut and other heroes.
I guess commentators cursed right before that push. I said, wonder if they're going to look into a gem here. But unfortunately, they did not. And the Glimmer Cape played a huge role in that fight.
Yeah,
they get one.
They have a sentry on Witch Doctor, but that's not enough to...
Once that Omni stops bouncing, though, you're just done for.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to find a ward here.
I also like Super's decision too. He went for like the Ogre Club that fight, which left him enough gold for buyback and also allowed him to, like, let's say, get a BKB out of the Treant ult.
He just picked this gem up, lit him. He seems to be cursed all of a sudden. Did they even notice it?
Super.
Okay.
Yep.
Extra tasty. That is terrible. He just bought the damn thing. Didn't even. I guess he got the 1D ward out.
Yeah, they might not have a chance to go high ground for a long time after this. So they have the blink on the Dragon Knight. Maybe they can get a couple of picks with that, along with the Juggernaut ultimate. But they have to be really careful of Glimmer and or defensive sleep, and even like Tiny with max Craggy and a Frost armor can just straight tank through it. He has 2200 HP right now.
Yeah, so much of that momentum that EHOME had built up just blunted by one unfortunate push. A great hold from Vici, and now losing the gem, losing the Aegis. They are very much, at best, on even footing, at worst, on the defensive even. Vici are
they're looking to change that right now.
Unfortunately, I think one of them was scouted running around here by that ward up on the high ground earlier, though. Doesn't actually see them right now.
What they're grouping up like they want to smoke, but
it's an illusion waiting.
I think they brought it, or they're out.
Oh, that's awkward. It's kind of a tough time to smoke as well, though. With you look at their vision, like they're totally in the dark. So if they smoke, they're just blindly running uphill, hoping that Vici aren't waiting for them.
Yeah, but if they get a pick, they get a T3. So it might be a low chance of success, but it's definitely worth taking.
High risk, high reward.
I mean, they're still not even behind in terms of gold. It's not bad for them. And we are seeing Witch Doctor making good headway on his way to the Ag Scepter. It's halfway there.
And all chicken onto the BKB. And BKBs will be important here for EHOME, as that call down really shut down the push last time.
The Tusk, again, has to be in a position where he doesn't get gripped. He's forward enough that he wants to be able to blink punch people and then have his team follow up on that, but he just had so many spells thrown at him last time, and really without, I think, a Glimmer Cape on their side, they can't protect them.
It seems really what you want is for Old Chicken to get BKB and then he jumps in and starts the fight rather than the Tusk. That way the DK
that'd be way better.
And he does grab it now. Even Clarity, because he wants to rush out and hold this top lane. This could be a dangerous moment if Vici stick around with that BKB not yet revealed.
But we saw this yesterday also from 11 when he was playing versus LGD. He has amazing plays when it's the smaller scale skirmishes and when he's not focused down first, but his position actually is sometimes a little bit too far up.
And it's also a difficult game for positioning with the Glimmer Cape, the double blink daggers, the toss opportunities. There's a lot of ways to catch him out.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if they had a blink on the Treant Protector too, if he gets gripped, they just blink in and overgrowth and then completely turn the fight around. But that's not the case, and looks like he's opting for a Solar Crest instead because he is still very poor, especially after committing to that gem that immediately changed hands.
No, that's depressing.
It really is.
Landon's certainly a Brazilian
That's
guy.
the worst nightmare as a support.
They are going to group up, though. EHOME not going to be thwarted by that too much. They stalk in with Lanham. He's got the point of nature's guys to sneak around here, and actually nobody on the dire side has seen this one coming. But they also are nervous of what they don't see, so they'll back off.
Roshan up again very soon, and with living armor and Juggernaut heal and Witch Doctor heal, they should be able to take it with ease. Although it looks like Vici potentially grouping up for a Smoke Fairy soon, knowing that Roshan, it's unlikely that he's up right now, but Vici have to assume that he is. Do they have any smokes left? I see one on Ice, but he's not with them right now.
Radiant team, no smokes here for about 3 minutes, and as for the Dire squad, we are looking at 5 minutes on cooldown, but the fight's going to break out in the bottom lane. There's a stun off the bat. Old Chicken still isn't committed to the BKB. They get off the shards. Again, the Glimmer Cape gets magic, and now the quick Avatos. Mech gets popped, though. They look to turn this one around. The Burning stands strong in the midst of the fight. The Overgrowth's there, but they need more physical damage to come out to turn this around. They will get off the Omni Slash, killing off the Slardar at least, and now the Death Ward goes. Vici have to turn and run. FY quickly committing and then canceling the grip. Will back away as the Slardar buys back. They look for the follow-up kills here. Now that the big ults are on cooldown, the BKB's down. Burning starts to go to work, but he also takes a lot of damage during this. Blade Fury and forward trying to focus here on Super. It's a Blade Fury snowball. 4 heroes just jump onto Burning, bring him down, and now hunting for Super, driving him back, stunning out Ice Ice Ice. He just fought back for this. He can't afford to die again, but he's in danger. He needs to slither away. The Cask is chasing. They want this kill. They want it bad. Walrus punch soon. They get him as well. He's dead for a minute, and FY could be next. Vici Gaming self-destructing, completely crumbling here as EHOME surge on, looking for a big objective now.
Wow.
They're not done yet though. They blink onto Super. They're going to stun him too. The Tiny getting caught out. There's the shards, the Walrus punch, holding him in position. The cooldown is cooled down. It's been so long that EHOME's been beating the crap out of Vici that Burning's got a second ult to work with. Snowball's ready though, but he pops the mech instead. Now he doesn't have the mana for it. The stick's cooling down. Ult 11 needs more time. He just gets the mana. They're going to pop the overgrowth. Snowballing onto a creep. Blinks to the left. Jumping out. It's also a buyback here for Super. They're committing so much for this ult along with Burning. 2 buybacks on the cores there to go with the Slardar. So a triple buyback overall. I mean, I suppose they hold, but my god, that was expensive.
Yeah, they want to get Roche after Slardar's almost up yet again, and we'll be able to amp him up. But 2 unexpected things coming out for Vici. Firstly, the BKB on the Dragon Knight. They didn't expect that blink BKB stun initiation that you talked about, and of course, they thought that EHOME was going to go for the safer play, which would be the Roshan, but instead they went for the more aggressive play with that high ground Observer Ward.
Well, they're only now getting into the pit with the full complement of units. Still waiting for the amp damage to be cast for that second time on the Roshan. Now jumping in, Old Chicken will go. He's got a long duration BKB charge, but hanging onto it for now. The Glimmer Cape from FY as he looks for the grip, but the Omni Slash has found the backliners. Still the Frost Armor works well against it. C2I gets that much needed crit for the kill, and now they turn on the Slardar. It's another death for Ice Ice Ice. Continues to fall. It's Old Chicken flying high and proud. Cleaned up the backliners. 3 dead again. No buybacks for Vici this time. And it feels like they may have just played all their chips in one hand here. The Roche will fall. The bottom lane's being pinged out.
That was an amazing Ice Shard coming out from the Tusk. He actually locked Ice 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 in with Roche, and he couldn't blink away because he was constantly being hit by Roche, and he was isolated inside the pit, and his team was forced to fight 4-on-5 for almost the entire duration of that fight.
I don't think I've often seen a triple buyback on cores at the 30-minute mark, and it fell that spectacularly.
Yeah. Witch Doctor also had a buyback with like 7 seconds left. They knew they had to take that Roshan fight.
And take it they did, and now they look for more. They are going to grab the tower, but Vici Gaming, it's relatively early this one, and already they're able to respawn. So they at least hold the base for now, but they have sacrificed a lot. Juggernaut now, as well as the Dragon Knight, topping out the cores of Vici. And it seems if EHOME now wants to take this late, they have that momentum where they might be able to just go another 10-15 minutes with no issues.
I like this build from C2I. I think he was also in a very similar situation in his last Juggernaut game where he had Battle Fury and he was like their primary late game on EHOME, except he opted for an SNY instead of the Manta Diffuser combo, which is really good versus Ghost Scepter on the Bane, but it's also just really good for a ton of damage output.
And the amp damage as well. It's great for just dealing with the Slardar here. So.
And purging off the Lich Frost Armor, which actually has been proven to be very effective in mitigating his damage. So I like this switch up from CTY.
Oh, that's a good point. Not something we see too often. But
well, we saw Illidan actually pick up the HOD purge, or the purge creep on the Doom. As well as the purge creep from HOD when he was playing against the Lich.
Yeah, and the Abaddon. I mean, there's been some clever tools in this tournament to try and shut down that, not just the Lich, but also the amp damage.
If only you could purge buildings.
They'll fall fast enough here if EHOME have their way. They're going to lead in with CTY. He's holding the Aegis. And now they've got the level 3 Dragon Knight ultimate. Things get very dicey for all the cores as they will jump in with the Blink Avatar's combo. BKB is available though, and Old Chicken just laughs at the damage output. Trying to go to work here. Now the Omni Slash will go on to Burning. Burning him fairly low, but not enough to kill him off. The Glimmer Cape committed CTY. He's got the second life, but they're spending a lot here as the Death Ward does absolutely nothing. Maybe with that whiffing, they'll have to back. They still have an Overgrowth to cover the retreat, but the stun was waiting for Ice 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 again getting caught out. Super jumps in, but he lacks the follow-up damage to the Aptos combo. He can't get the kill. He now gets Walrus Punch. He gets kited. It sounds like a first-second Omni Slash to CTY. Hacks down heroes with the Manta Illusions, turning onto FY, bringing down Super. 4 make it 5. EHOME are doing it. They crush through Vici. They take game 1, and Lanham has the first left versus his old teammates.
EHOME are the Slardar Slayers, man. That stun at the end, play from Lanham the entire game on the Treant Protector, they actually just made Slardar useless.
Beautiful showing there. They didn't have the smoothest early execution. It felt, Ben, like that one bad fight. They couldn't execute the standard, let's 5-man take all the towers early, but they found their opportunities. They bounced back. They had a couple critical fights bottom, and they just out-executed Vici Gaming when it really counted.
I think their high ground siege is the